Um, see what we'll be discussing today's session. Just let's have a some discussion on what is the BA Launchpad, how to create very simple reports, how users access the reports through the BA Launchpad. Okay, so that part we'll discuss, and also I will explain the query process, how we'll get the results into our report. Okay. So BA Launchpad is a business object portal. SAP BA Launchpad is a business object portal. So through the portal, end users are going to log into with their credentials. They can access their reports. They can access their reports. BA Launchpad. BA Launchpad is a business object portal. So it's a web portal. It's a business object is a web portal. So through this portal, users are going to communicate with the BO repository. So by communicating with the repository, they can access the reports which is available in the BO repository. Okay, here we have a BO repository. What a BO repository contains? So BO repository contains the list of the reports, universes, list of the universes, and list of the reports, and also users information is available in the repository. Okay. So once the user log into the BA Launchpad, user can able to view the list of the reports based on these access levels. Based on his access levels, he can view the folders and reports. Okay, let's say suppose like there are 100 folders are there, and each folder contains a different kind of reports. Like say financial reports, tax related reports, and sales reports. Okay. So some fraudulent customers related in folder reports. So these are the different folders will available in the BA Launchpad. I mean, it will show in the BA Launchpad. So when user open one folder, so he can able to access the reports based on his access levels. Okay. So how user going to connect to the BA Launchpad? So he's going to open the Internet Explorer. So we provide the IP BA Launchpad IP address. So this IP address we are going to give it to the users. So which is a local, instead of the localhost in real time, we use the IP address, IP address of the BO server, or host name also you can give it to the user. So once open the BA Launchpad link, so he can enter his credentials. And he can log into the BO repository. Okay. So I am entering the credentials here. I'm logging here. Click on log on. What happened?
Madhukar, anytime you log in, right? I had a very basic question. In the sense, SAP had traditionally BI or BW tool with it, right? It went ahead and bought BO also. How different are these two tools?
Okay. What is the difference between the BW and BO you are talking, right? Is that correct? Your question is, so what is the BW and BO, right?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, so SAP BW is a tool which will do end-to-end part, which is including the ETL. It will extract the data and load into the target system, and also reporting. It contains the reporting tools as well. Okay. So what happened? The BO is only the reporting tool. So what they have done after acquiring the business objects, so they made it as a ETL as a like normal process, and so instead of using their own reporting tool, so BO reporting tool they are currently using. Okay. So
okay.
BW contains the ETL and including the reporting, their own reporting tool. Okay. So that existing reporting tool is replaced with the business objects.
Okay, so BA doesn't use their SAP reporting tools anymore?
Yes, they are not using their own reporting tool. So BO also is a part of the SAP. So now, wherever the SAP tool is there, wherever suppose let's say HANA is there. So they have to use as a reporting tool as a business object. So there is some project is going on BW. So people already migrated to the BO reporting tool. Like most of the company, most of the clients, they already migrated the BEX WAD analyze BEX analyze reports to BO reporting tool. Okay. So only the data transformation and loading into the target system, they are using the BW system, and reporting, they have to, every client have to use the BO reporting tool. So in future, so the BEX is going to like go away, and BO is replacing. So all the whatever the tools currently existing in the BW reporting, so that is replaced with the BO reporting. BO as a tool, BO as a reporting tool. As a already they are using the HANA. For a HANA, they are using BO only reporting tool. Fine. Any questions? Okay. So coming to here, some login information. Administrator should connect. So guys, there is some problem. I guess it's not able to connect. Let me try just other server. Okay. So I'm just connected to the other server. So I'm going to open the Start menu, Internet Explorer, and the BA Launchpad, localhost BOE, and I'm trying to log in with my credentials only. See, now have logged into the BA Launchpad. So in this BA Launchpad, if you see, so there are different folders you can see in the BA Launchpad. So basically, the end users are going to log into the BA Launchpad to see their reports. Okay, if you go to the folders, public folder, so there are many folders are available, right? If you see here, now you can see in the first folder, you can see the web intelligence reports. Maybe in another folder you can have a different kind of reports. Okay, see here you can see some of the dashboards reports, crystal reports also there, analysis workplace. So users are going to access the reports, any reports, any kind of report they can access through the BA Launchpad. Okay, this is one interface to user access the reports. Okay, and also through the BA Launchpad, as a business object developers, we are going to create reports. Okay, so you are the BO developer. So what you need to do, if you are the web developer, you are going to create a web intelligence report to the BA Launchpad. Okay, so that means, if you are the only web developer, so you need not install anything in your local machine. Okay, so you are just to log into the BA Launchpad and you can create a report by connecting to this. Okay, maybe the universe. So then what is the universe here? So universe is a semantic layer. So universe is a semantic layer. So between the database and the Webby developer. So without universe we can't create any reports. Yes, Webby can access the text queries. So with the text queries you can create reports other than universes. Just let me just show you again. So as a BO developer, so we are going to create a web intelligence reports. As a BO developer, so we are going to create a web intelligence reports. Okay, let me just see. So now I'm here. So as through the SAP BA Launchpad, okay. So through the SAP BA Launchpad, so I'm just connecting to the repository. So I connected to the repository. Whatever the reports is available, you have seen. So whatever the reports are available in the business objects repository that we have seen through the BA Launchpad, right? So now as a BO developer, I'm going to create a reports by accessing the universes which is available in the repository. So what I'm doing, I'm just to go here, BA Launchpad, go to the application, select the Web Intelligence application. So once you select the Web Intelligence application, you will try to load the universes which is available in the repository. Okay. So here we have seen the list of the universes and reports, right? Universes and reports. Okay. So now what I have done, just I have opened the Web Intelligence application through the BA Launchpad. Open the Web Intelligence application through the BA Launchpad. So when you open the Web Intelligence application, so what will happen? It will show you the list of universes which is available in the repository. So what is the universe? So universe is a semantic layer. Universe is a semantic layer between the databases and the developer, Webby developer. Okay. So what is the data sources we can implement the universes? So what kind of databases, what kind of sources the universe can connect? So one is the, so let me select here on the. So here, like you can design a universe on the top of the BW source system. You can design a universe on the top of the HANA databases. Okay, you can design a universe on the top of the Oracle databases. Okay, you can design a universe on the SQL Server databases or Microsoft Access databases. Okay, you can design a universe by connecting to these sources. Okay, so let's assume that let's assume that
Madhukar?
Yes.
Yeah, here see we have different sources, right?
Yes.
So in universe, what exactly we will do? Either we can create any, we can write any coding or.
Okay. So is the universe contains any coding? No, universe doesn't have any coding. So we are just inserting those tables which is available in the HANA database, Oracle or Microsoft Access DB. So we'll make the joins depends on your report requirement. Okay. So the way that depends on a report requirement, we are implementing the universe by connecting to the different sources, different databases. Okay. So the way you design a universe based on the universe. So when you are creating a report, it will create a SQL query. Let me just show you. Now select a Web Intelligence universe, select a universe, click on OK. Okay, now I'm just selecting the eFashion universe. So universe is a semantic layer between the DB and the Webby developers, right? So I'm accessing the universe now currently. So let me just select the eFashion universe. Okay, let me just select this eFashion universe, select here. See, the way you design the universe, based on that universe, the SQL will generate here. So I'm just adding the sales revenue and quantity sold. So whenever I am adding these objects in the query panel, so these objects are made at a inverse level. So whatever the objects has displaying here, right? So these objects has made it at the inverse level, is created at an inverse level. So the way you added these objects in the query panel, when you when you see the SQL query, so in the back end the SQL has generated, the web intelligence server is created the SQL query. So how this SQL is generated? So the SQL is generated based on the universe, So when you are designing the universe, right? So depends on our requirement, we are going to implement the universe. So based on that universe, the SQL has created here. Okay. So how the SQL is generated automatically? So the way you design a universe, based on that SQL has created here automatically. We are not writing any SQL query here. So we are implementing in the these objects. We are implementing these objects at the universe level by accessing the different tables of the database. Okay. So based on the universe designing only, the SQL is created. When you run the query, what will happen? When you run the query, so when you run the query, the data will fetch it from the database. When you run the query, what will happen? So the data is going to fetch it from the database. So once you see I have added the object, so this SQL query, this SQL query will execute. This SQL query will execute in the DB and fetch the records from the database. So fetch the records from the database and display into our web report. So that is how it will work. So whatever the SQL is generated based on the SQL query, so this SQL query will execute in the databases. So based on the SQL query, so it will fetch the records and display into our web report. By default, it will display in the vertical table format. So by default, the data will display in the vertical table format. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? So how the query process happen?
Madhukar, so we are going to create a universe, our own universe, one each for each of the database, right?
Yes, but in the 4.1 or 4.0, you can design a universe by connecting to the multiple databases. One universe can connect to the multiple databases. So you can design a one universe by connecting to the Oracle database, Microsoft Access database at a time. Okay, in the latest version. So which was not there in the older version in XA 3.1. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So you can connect to the multiple databases at a time. One universe can connect to the multiple databases at a time. Okay. So how universe can be implemented? The universe can be implemented by two tools, which is the UDT and the IDT. So we have a UDT tool and we have IDT tool implement the universe. With a UDT, you can create a universe by connecting to the any of the single database. But with the UDT, I can't generate a universe by connecting to the BW InfoCubes multi-providers GSOs. Okay. But with IDT, yes, you can create a universes by connecting to the BW InfoCubes. Okay. So BW InfoCubes DSOs, which is a source in the BW system. Okay. So that it will connect and you can create a reports. So see, you are creating a universe on the top of the BW InfoCubes. So we don't require any BEX queries to create reports. Okay. Let's say example, let's assume that so they already having BEX queries. So they already having the BEX queries, but they want to migrate the reporting as a business objects web intelligence. Then what we can do? So whatever the existing BEX queries are also there, whatever the existing BEX queries are there, you can access that BEX queries and you can create a reports. So that is available. That part is available currently, but in future, so you will see only the universe reports on top of the universes. Universe can be implemented on the InfoCubes multi-providers DSOs. Okay, but still because so the currently the existing client is having a BEX queries, so which is having the lot of calculations. So to implement those calculations, it may take lot of time in the universe designing. So because of that, because of the cost cutting, and maintenance cost, so now currently they are go ahead with creating a reports on the top of the Bex queries, what the existing systems are there. But if any new implementation project is going on, so that in that case we are not going to use any Bex queries. So if there are any new implementations going to start in a project, so we are going to design a universe on the top of the InfoCubes and create a web intelligence reports. Even Bex can be implemented on the InfoCubes multi-providers. So instead of going through developing the Bex queries, better you can design a universe on the top of the BW InfoCubes DSO system and create a reports. Okay.
Madhukar?
Yes.
Yeah, in that case, like at Bex level, we can create some correlations, right? We can create some correlation figures, restricted key figures, and some more correlations and all. So how can we do without creating the Bex?
Yeah, that you can implement at the universe level. Okay, restricted key figures, calculated key figures, and the variables that can be implemented instead of doing it to the Bex level.
Using what, like you have to write the code or?
Simple calculation. There is nothing code. So there is a simple syntaxes. Different functions are there with the existing functions. So we can write the formulas. So universe having their own functions, using the existing functions, we can write the formulas.
May I know which language it even like formulas in the sense like what?
You can say normal database functions.
Hello. Can I ask you something? So if you've got existing Bex reports, it won't be. You can display it through the web intelligence, but it won't be part of the universe.
Correct.
So but then by all these other standards, you could can you bypass the universe and just do an MS Access report through web intelligence or use the data source in the same way?
Okay, what you're telling, like you can load the data into the MX Access and define a universe and create a report?
No, I'm saying if you had MS Access reports,
okay,
could I use it in the same way that I can use the Bex reports?
No. Okay. No.
So your universe is your schema?
Yes.
Okay.
So see, not MS Access is a database here. MS Access, Oracle, HANA, and BW. So these are the data sources. Okay. So MS Access, like let's say, if you want to create a report on the top of the MS Access, so you should have a universe. MS Access is not a reporting tool. It's a database, it's like Oracle database.
So
okay,
so if I wanted to do it, if I had a crystal reports, I couldn't do that either.
So in the crystal report, what you can do, so the crystal report is some different way we can implement the reports. Either you can access the universes and generate a crystal reports. Either the crystal report can access the direct databases. So crystal report can access the directly databases, okay, which is Oracle or HANA database. You can access the Microsoft Access DB as well, okay, and also you can create reports on the top of the Bex queries, okay, without a universe. So you can create crystal reports by accessing the databases, direct databases. You don't require any universe. But like, see, if you want to generate a crystal report, you should have a good and expertise in the writing SQL code. So without knowledge of the SQL code, you can't create reports directly accessing the database. So, but as a Webby developer, you do not require any SQL knowledge, because like in Webby itself, it is creating a SQL query by accessing the universes. We are not writing any SQL queries. Okay. Yeah, and a question from Raghavendra or Ramana. Yeah, go ahead with your question. Ramana, you have any question here? You're asking something?
No, I don't
Hello?
have any question.
Okay. What
Yeah, I
about
didn't have any question.
Okay, fine. Raghavendra?
No questions, sir.
Okay, fine. So anyway, so guys, this BW, Universe, Webby, BW, Bex, Webby, this will discuss when we are talking about the BW integration with Vue. There is a separate session for BW integration with Vue part. So that time it will clear all your doubts. So as of now, like this is the first session, just I'm trying to show you how to create a very simple web intelligence report. That is what my aim today agenda. Okay, maybe when we start designing the inverse, you will get end-to-end flow. What is exactly the inverse, how the webby, what is the databases. Okay, but as of now, like just assume that we are creating a simple reports by connecting to the inverse. Inverse might connect to the any of the source system. Like that way you can assume as of now. Okay, so now the inverse, the report has created. This is how we can create a very simple report. Okay, now so now I can present the data into the different format. So I show you in the vertical table format. So now I'm going to display the data in the pie chart. How we can display the data in pie chart? Just add a report here and take this pie chart and drop here. Take this pie chart and drop here. Okay. Now I'm going to add objects here. State, drop here. Just drag and drop state, and I want to see the sales revenue. Sales revenue. What is the sales revenue for each state? See, guys, and also you can expand this cell, expand this pie chart. So this is how you can see the simple pie chart data. So when you take the cursor here, you can see the data. So how much is the sales revenue for Texas, and percentage wise also is including. So in an older version in Excel 3.1, when I add the pie chart, it's not displaying any values here. So we need to display the manually we need to display the data here. So but in 4.0 or 4.1, when you take the cursor, so it will display the state and with the sales revenue. So this is like it's a good feature which is added in latest version 4.1 and 4.1, which was not there in earlier version. So we need to display manually by selecting the some properties and labels, and also it will not like it is going to display the permanently in the by making the arrow mark. So it looks not good in a 3.1, but in 4.0 or 4.1 you can say. So whenever I want to see the information, if you take the cursor, immediately the values are displaying like a dashboard kind. So which is not there in a older version tool. Okay, this is a new feature is added in 4.1 and 4.1. And if you want to see the which is having a very less sales revenue, you can see Massachusetts 3.53% of the sales revenue compared with other states. Okay, so this is how you can present the data into the pie chart. Okay, and also you can present the data into the column chart as well. So I'm just taking the column chart and drop here. So in the pie chart, so you can display the state one dimension to one measure object, and you can also add two dimensions as well, but it will not look good. Always the standard or the best practice is having only the one dimension to one measure object. But in the column chart, you can have a two dimensions, one measure, or you can have a two measures, one dimension object as well. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking the two dimensions object here. Here, I'm just taking, let's have a state first. I'm just taking the state object here and having a year object and drop any of the measure object here. Now you can see. See guys, and the data which is displaying the column chart, you can expand it, it will visible clearly if you expand as much as. Okay, this is how we can display the pie chart. So now you can see in 2006, the Texas is having the highest sales revenue, right? The bar chart you can see is more than 4 lakhs it is showing. Clear? And also you can see the Massachusetts is having the very less sales revenue compared with any other states. So this is how you can present the data into the graphical formatting. So and also I'm adding the other tables, so which I want to display into the crosstab report. So take this inside the column. So this is a crosstab report. Here we are going to present the data. So dimensions always display in the rows and columns, and measures are going to display in the intersection of the rows and columns. Okay. See if you see the vertical table data, so always the data is displaying in the vertical format. Even the measure objects also, measure data also displaying in the column wise only, right? But here the crosstab report, the format is totally different. So I'm just taking the year object. What will happen? So when I take a year object, what will happen? It's displaying the row wise horizontally. Okay, and I'm just taking the product lines here. I'm taking the product lines here. Now the data which is displaying the row wise, right? So now you can see. And the intersection of the rows and columns will display the measure objects. So let's say I'm just taking the quantity sold and drop here. When I drop here, right, all the values is displaying here. So the intersection of the rows and columns always displaying the measure objects, and the dimension will display the rows and columns. This is how we can present the data. So depends on a report requirement, depends on your report requirement, depends on your report layout. So depends on your report requirement, we are going to present the data into the different tables or different charts. Okay. And similarly, you have a horizontal table. You have a horizontal table, and also you have a forms, insert forms also there. Okay. So this is how we can use it. Any questions, guys? Displaying the data into the different format. And also you can save this report into the PDF format. You can save this report into the Excel format. Okay, how to save it? So once you save that report, so that is static data. It will not, you can't fresh the Excel data into whenever you save into the local system. Whatever the last snapshot is stored into our report, only that data only you can save it into the Excel. So you can't refresh the Excel data. So that will be the static data. So you can see you can analyze the report in offline if you save that report in Excel or PDF format. So how to save that report in Excel or PDF format? So just make it as a save as document. My desktop. You can just save it into the different format. You can see, guys, PDF, Excel, and text files. So I'm just making it in the Excel format. Okay, new document, save it, and go back to the desktop tool, desktop. Now you can see new document. So that will open in the Excel format. So user can analyze the reports in offline mode if we save it into the Excel or PDF format. It's taking time. Still it is just taking time. Let me just open it from files, open desktop, my document, right? New document, this is one. Now as you can see now. So the report 1, report 2, and also you can see the report 3. This is how, so we can save the report in Excel format. Okay. Any questions here? Is that clear, everyone? Anyone have any questions? And also similarly, so what I just showed you just in Excel format, right? You can save it into the PDF format as well. Okay. So, and one good advantage with the 4.0 or 4.1, right? You can open multiple reports at a time. So, which is already open one report. I'm just trying to open another report. See? So, I can open multiple tabs at a time. So, which is not available. This facility, this feature is not available in the older version tool in XA 3.1. Okay. So now why I'm just explaining all these things, because like maybe so whenever you attend the interviews, so they will ask so in terms of like what is the difference between the portal business object BA Launchpad portal and the InfoView portal in 3.1. So what kind of features is added compared with the 3.1 and 4.0. This is a new feature is added. You can open a multiple tabs in a 4.0 that cannot be done in 3.1. You can open only one report at a time. Either you can open the multiple web links. So you need to open the multiple BA Launchpad links, then only you can access it. Okay, so that I can't say with the one link I can't access the multiple reports, but in 4.0 you can access the multiple reports each time. Okay, so this is a new feature is added in 4.0 and the 4.1 both the versions. Okay, guys, clear? Any questions? Okay, so I'm just going to stop now, so we can continue the session tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be going to cover with the filters. So what are the different type of filters? So what is each filters do? That we'll discuss. Basically, filters is a concept. So to restrict the data, we use the filters to restrict the data. So at what level we are going to discuss? We are restricting the data. Is it a database level? Is it a report level? Is it at the inverse level? So that kind of different type of filters will cover in the tomorrow session, and also we'll discuss about some input parameters, and also we will cover like how to display the top and bottom values, and ranking information we'll see, and also the aligning the data, either the descending order, either the ascending order. So that we'll discuss, and nothing but a sorting, ranking. Also we'll discuss about the prompts. So this is the tomorrow agenda, and the timings, guys, I will let you know exactly. Maybe most probably we can have a session at 11 o'clock on same time. What we did 11 a.m. IST. Okay.
Okay. Are we going to create our own universes based on one of these?
Yes.
BW. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe later stage, right?
Initially, we will be covering the Webby sessions. So once the Webby covers over, so then start designing the universe and connecting to the different sources.
Okay. Then how can we log into log in and see some universes? Is there a username password provided?
The server access we'll be going to give it. Okay, maybe maybe Murli can provide those details.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can check with Murli. Murli give these server access details. Okay. So why just we are initially starting the Webby sessions, then we'll move to the inverse design. Okay. So once you understand the Webby concept, so whenever I start developing the inverse, that will be tested in the reporting tool, right? So